Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's so good of you to join me here today. Now today I want to take the time to provide a public service announcement with the help of a very interesting post that is provided to us by the National Park Services. And the reason I wanted to provide you with this information is because I myself am an avid outgoing hiker and adventurer, I guess you could say, and I love going to our national parks. I believe our national parks are our greatest treasure, and we should cherish them because it gives you the opportunity to connect with nature and the beauty of this land and all that it has to offer. And I myself believe I have went to 7 national parks this year, and last weekend I actually went to Grand Tetons and Yellowstone. And there was something that I noticed a lot about Yellowstone. Now, Yellowstone is probably one of the most beautiful, exquisite, awesome places to go to. Okay, as far as national parks that I've seen, it's one of my favorites. And it's really good. It's really good. Like Yellowstone is just so pristinely beautiful. And it has a little bit of everything. It has canyons, waterfalls, it has hot springs and geysers, just beautiful, like open ravines with like rivers and mountains. It's really just something to behold. And I did notice something when I was at Yellowstone, and something that was viral a while back where you saw like people approach bison. And I remember watching a video of somebody approaching a bison, or I guess a buffalo. I don't really know the difference. To me, they're just giant, big, hairy cow-looking things. But I've seen plenty of them. Dealt with them. I grew up in Montana. I've been around a lot of wildlife, and I learned right quickly in Montana, especially, that you do not approach wildlife. Okay, because if you approach wildlife, there's a good chance wildlife will approach you, especially if it's something big and scary like a moose. If it's a bear, you might as well you just might as well pray. Okay. And you better hope you have a can of bear spray, because that's probably the only thing that could possibly deter those just insanely power-hungry, like carnivorous, just offensive, I guess you could say. I don't know. Like I'm not good at describing animals, as you can tell, without using certain political terms, but they are very, very carnivorous. Okay. And it can be very, very deadly. And they are very much apex predators, which should not be approached. They're not the stuff you see in Disney cartoons. And I just wanted to share this because I've seen people in Yellowstone over the last couple of weekends getting a little too close. And I thought it was fitting that National Park Services as the article says, shares hilarious and accurate wildlife petting chart for National Wildlife Day. And let's just take a look at the chart, because this is exactly what I think of when I see big, hairy beasts out in Yellowstone, which are buffalo and wildlife in general. Remember, this is not the stuff you see in cartoons, especially not bears and moose, okay? This is not Rocky and Bullwinkle. This is not Yogi Bear. Like, you do not approach those things. You look at them and you slowly back out of their line of sight, okay? Because you don't just turn around and run, because then they will definitely go after you. Because you never show your back to these kinds of things, because you have to have your defenses prepared, okay? And that's just kind of like my thing. It's like I've dealt with these. I've had my run-ins, okay, with wildlife. It's not fun. It always gets your pulse racing, especially when you know, or you've known somebody that has had a more, how to say this, a more adventurous run-in with an animal, like such as an animal trying to chase them or trying to go after people. Like I said, I live in Montana. I've heard stories. It's always fun and interesting hearing about some of the encounters that people have had in the past, especially if they've had encounters with an animal where they had a young cub nearby, and that is usually the worst thing, okay? Never approach animals that have young around them, okay? Like, never approach a mother. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if it's a turkey. I don't care if it's a bison. Never approach that. That is 100% guaranteed. A direct line, first lane trip, like first class flight to the pain zone, okay? And this chart right here kind of gives you a funny petting chart saying that, hey, don't pet these things, because nope. How fast are you? Vacation over. Think again. Ouch. No. And my favorite one, since we live in the United States, do you have health insurance? Because as we've discussed on this channel before, American healthcare is not cheap, okay? And it will leave you. The only thing worse than having the pain of getting destroyed by a buffalo or a bison or whatever wild thing you can have is just having your pocketbook destroyed by the American healthcare system. So just remember that. when you think about trying to approach wildlife in the future. That has been my PSA for the day. Thank you for making it this far, and it's been a fun discussion on top of that. And I'll talk to all of you later.